Welcome back to Neighborhood Journal. I'm Tati Amara. We found a garden in the heart of Metropolis that breathes biodynamics, sustainability, and education. Let's take a closer look.
In Rockland County, a small plot of land is rich in soil and biodynamic gardening history. The Pfeiffer Center was the first biodynamic garden in North America.
Biodynamics is a form of organic farming, using compost, not using chemicals, using cover crops to nourish the soil, rotating your crops so that you don't grow the same thing in the same place and deplete the soil, having a large diversity of crops. This area where we're in is about 2 acres, and about 1/2 acre of that is what we would call a handwork raised bed vegetable garden. And then there's a small orchard, there's greenhouse, and we have 2 small workhorses. The other main kind of animals that we have are our bees, and they give plenty of honey. We have about 11 hives, cared for organically.
The Pfeiffer Center provides educational enrichment through seminars, workshops, and its nurturing environment.
The Pfeiffer Center is a biodynamic garden that is also an educational facility. This is where we have children, along with apprentices from all over the world, come and learn about biodynamic agriculture. And what we're doing with the educational facility is we're teaching children about food.
Our focus is very much experiential learning for the children, lots of hands-on, real work in the garden. And today we did some work in the dye garden or the fibercraft studio. We start working in the garden almost right away. One of the interns will come over and we'll have a chore to do. It could be planting strawberries or peas or weeding, mulching beds. Today we were preparing beds for planting. We were removing old cover crops and turning over beds with shovels. Whatever task they're doing is to help the garden. That a garden exists because people make a garden exist. There's woods and there's fields, but a garden is a partnership between people and nature.
What biodynamic farms try to do is become a self-sustaining organism. They have animals, they have the plants, they have insects, and sometimes they'll have a water source. And this is where the amphibians and the fish live. So every single kingdom on our planet is represented here, and everything is in a constant cycle. The composting and cover crops, letting some beds rest and some in production. That's what it is. Biodynamics is growing good soil.
Composting is our way of creating soil, and we have a straight up vegetable compost pile, and then we have plant matter compost, and then also a manure compost pile, the horse manure from our horses down the road. So we'll actually make a garden blend that we'll use for compost in the garden. In the fall, it's a little bit more raw. In the spring, it's a little bit more refined. And we also make all of our own potting soil. So that's the compost heaps that have sat for the longest time and are the most digested. So those are probably at least a year old. And we'll make a mix and put sand in it.
The Pfeiffer Center prides itself on being a thriving organism that helps to create a sustainable community in Chestnut Ridge, New York.
Contact the Pfeiffer Center if you're interested in biodynamic farming or participating in any of the workshops they offer.